Hey, good morning, Justice Warriors. How are you guys? It's Friday and I'm coming on live. Hopefully, it'll be at least a little bit better than yesterday. I apologize for that. That was completely insane. Just a calamity of errors, combination of the head full of cotton stuffing, and then all kinds of issues with the power cords. But me not being able to think probably contributed massively to the power cord situation. So anyway, is hilarious. There were 4 lives yesterday. I deleted the first one because it was mostly the empty chair. And I mentioned that there's a technique in psychotherapy called the empty chair technique. It's actually very effective. You can try it at home. It's safe. You just talk to the empty chair. You just tell that empty chair whatever it is you want to tell it. It can be like your mom, your ex, God, whoever you want it to be. It could just be the chair. Just talk to that empty chair. Hey, Susan, good morning. Thanks for coming in. So let me get started. And sorry, my voice is still all crackly, but it's kind of cool. Like I've been singing in a smoky bar, right? But I can't seem to highlight your comment. Let's see. Here we go. Pin message. Here to stand, here to send love, light, prayers, and support. Well, thank you. Squirrel, girl, you're awesome. Oh, let me just start out with saying that everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion. I love to learn. I hope that it's educational for other people. And all my videos are made specifically for YouTube, which is an entertainment platform. And thank you guys so much for being here. Squirrels on Fire, Jazz King, and Susan, and Alistair Grant. Good morning to you all. So let me give you a quick rundown of some of the things I wanted to come on and discuss with you. I want to address some more the photoshopping of photographs of the criminal defendant, because that's just crazy. And it's been going on for months. And I'm not even sure that I've brought it up in any of my lives. I know that I've talked about it like with my mods, or I don't know if I've brought it up in my videos, whether it's been lives or pre-recorded. But I just put up another post last night of a couple of Kohberger images that we've seen, widely displayed across social media. And they're so obviously photoshopped. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but my response was to notice that they were photoshopped, but to kind of not care and to go like, yeah, he's completely creepy looking. He probably did it. So I want to talk about that. Welcome all. Please be sure to hit that like button. Thank you for reminding me. So I love my cool, creepy thumb. So I hope you guys love it. It's gray. I know it looks kind of green with the sunlight. Anyway, hit that like button. Ring your notification bell, share, subscribe if you feel so inclined. And it's going to be hard for me to read all the comments because of the light. So I apologize for that. But I also wanted to talk about the whole not being witnesses thing. That video I made a few days ago of Fry in the very beginning, his first press conference, when the reporter asked him about the surviving witnesses. And he said, well, I never said they were witnesses. I said they were there. And you know what? If you look up the definition of witness, it says if they were there. I mean, I'm of course being tongue in cheek, but pretty much even my 11-year-old was laughing her ass off. She was just like, excuse me. And I tried to keep her out of this whole social media YouTube thing. True crime. Do you ever cover Summer Wells case? Lots of pictures that are not even her on the news, in my opinion, allegedly. I've never covered the Summer Wells case, and I'll tell you why. I was talking about it a bit yesterday. I don't cover little kid cases, period. I can't. I just can't. And for those that are interested, someday I'll probably tell more of my story. But for right now, I literally just don't want it to distract. Someone made a very serious attempt on my life that landed me in the ER when I was 11. And that's about as much as I feel like I need to share, because like I said, I don't want to distract. I want to stay on focus. But I think that the kid cases are hard for most people to focus on. And that Summer Wells case, it's kind of like the younger the kid, the harder it is. Any victimization is just pure evil. But yeah, that is a really, really tough one. Um, so yeah, I pretty much hyper focus Kylie Rodney, Idaho 4, a few others, but I want to get back into Kylie Rodney too. I know Squirrels on Fire was here, and she has just been killing it, just kicking butt, just nose to the grindstone day after day. And I am so appreciative of the Squirrel crew and just everybody who stays focused on Kylie Rodney. That girl needs us, in my opinion. And I feel like Truckie's hoping that social media is going to go away. We're going to focus on this case and focus on that case. And you know what? I had a resolution when I started my channel for Kylie that I was never going to quit covering Kylie. And I said this, I think, last week. I honestly didn't think her case would ever be resolved appropriately because of what I saw up front. The effery, you can see it right in the beginning. Same thing with this Idaho 4 case. You can see it right up front. None of it makes sense. 2 + 2 does not equal 7. I mean, these things are ridiculous. Oh, girl goes to party in woods, lost forever. Oh, well, let's have a celebration of her life and move on. We got bills to pay. I don't think so. Homie, don't play that game. Just like with this Idaho 4. Yeah, well, we were sleeping, and then when we woke up, we just texted our friends, and then they came over, and they were like, hey, your roommates are passed out. Maybe we should take their pulse. Oh, look, there's a whole lot of the red stuff. I guess we should call 911. I don't know. What do you think? And then 911, lead detective takes his sweet freaking time. 4 hours is not a response time for a crisis emergency. I don't think anybody needs me to tell them that, but sometimes, we take these things at face value. We try to trust the authorities. We want to be able to trust the authorities. We should be able to trust the authorities. But anyway, I'm so sorry that I'm missing all your comments. I'm going to try to read this last one. The pattern that happened from Paisley to Kylie to Trinity to Dante is why all eyes need to be on that county, those counties. Yes, I'm going to highlight that one. I'm glad my little eyeball caught that. Thank you. Absolutely. And yeah, I remember when people were trying to get me to focus on Trinity, and I was like, leave me alone. I'm Kylie Rodney only. And then you guys were right. I got to listen to my peeps. Anyway, back to my little list here. So the photoshopping, the not witnesses, and then Kylie and Emily Bailey, you guys, and the cabal. Yeah, I said it, the cabal. I don't even know what that is. I had to Google it because somebody put it in my comment section last night or this morning. And I hear the word and I kind of thought maybe I knew what it was. I didn't. Anyway, funny, not funny. But Emma Bailey. Did I say Emily? Sorry. Emma Bailey. Do you guys realize that video that has been kind of going viral the last couple of days? I know I've seen JLR and Harsh and Evil Exists have all done little videos with it, and I'm sure handfuls of others have too. Emma Bailey in front of the house of the 1122 on September 1st of 2022. That was a noise complaint. Less than 24 hours later, they had the other noise complaint, the September 2nd, where Xana is wearing her shorts and her sweatshirt, and she says, "My roommates are 21. I'm not." I think she says it the other way around. I got it wrong. "I'm not 21. My roommates are." And again, early on, we kind of missed that. She was saying that her roommates are 21. So I have heard again and again and again that the two witnesses, the two surviving witnesses, I'm just going to call them that. Sorry, not sorry. That they were both 21 at the time of the slaughter. But now, allegedly, they're both 22. I'm pretty sure Dylan turned 22 last month. And I'm not 100% sure if or when Bethany turned 22, if anybody has that information. I know Van Life Adventure has told me that she's put that information on her channel, and I haven't been able to find it. So if anybody wants to guide me to that, that would be awesome. So yeah, I'm going to do another community post too, because the person that Evil Exists and Harsh and JLR and many others are questioning if that is in fact Emma Bailey in front of the 1122 King Road in the middle of the night, and it's dark. What time was it? It was like maybe 9 or 10. I didn't write it down. I thought I did. Anyway, the girl has a head like a do-rag on that it's hard to see it because it's dark, but I got a couple of still shots where there's some light shining on it, and it looks so much like the do-rag that she has on when she gets pulled over for her DUI a couple of months later, this past February. So I also want to say about that video, the body cam images of her with the DUI, that she's wearing something like what I'm wearing. And it's, it's 80 degrees here, but it was probably like 20 degrees, maybe 30 degrees. It was 2 a.m, February, and Moscow. And she's wearing a shirt very much like mine during her sobriety test. And then eventually she puts on this big, like, fuzzy jacket. But I just thought that's pretty stunning that she would do that, and that the cop would have her be doing the sobriety test in the freezing cold like that. Like, you can see her breath, and it's just weird. I mean, of course, she was completely shitty drunk, in my opinion. I mean, the things that she said right from the get-go. What was it? He asks, how much have you had to drink? And she says, none. And he says, yeah, you have. And how much? And she a minute later says, enough to drive. And you're just like, oh dear God, you poor thing, you are nailed. Anyway, what a ludicrous mess that girl's life has become. Again, 22 years old. Now she's in prison for the fatality of, what's his name? Caden Young, the junior from the University of Idaho that died on spring break while visiting Centralia, Washington. Died of an overdose, and her and Demetris supplied him with the substances, allegedly. So let's talk more about that photoshopping of Brian Kohberger's images, because I noticed right off the bat that they were making the whites of his eyes really big. So, most of our eyeballs, you can see the irises, you can see the whites, and then you can see our eyelids kind of touching the irises. So they were making it so that the eyelids were really big and not touching the irises, basically making them look like a freak. And then when I started noticing them like coloring in the white, and then that first community post that I put up 2 days ago, where they kind of screwed up and they put like way too much white on the one and then none on the other. But I have looked at that picture, you guys, And it is so weird because on the other one, it's like they're trying to make it look pink and translucent and bizarro. And then there's like these little crescent moons on either side of the irises. There's so many weird things that they do with his eyes. And it's my opinion that they're doing that to make him look like a super freak and to make the public feel no empathy for him, to make him look dehumanized, and for us to simply not care. You know, they're pushing for the death penalty and they're convicting him before he's even had a fair trial. I don't understand why the media has that agenda. And that's where somebody put in my comment section, because they're part of the cabal. And I was like, I said, I literally looked it up because I thought I knew what it was, but I'm like, I don't really know what that is. And for anybody who doesn't know what it is, sorry that my voice is so hoarse. At least my brain's a little less foggy. The cabal is just basically like a conspiracy. So it's just like a thing that people are in on. It's a pretty simple concept. I thought it was much bigger. I thought it was like a specific thing like in Saudi Arabia or something. I'm just being honest. I was kind of out to lunch on that one. Let's see. Did you notice that Bethany Funk lives in Reno? Excuse me. Wonder if she knew the Truckee people. Good point. Seriously, good point. I mean, Reno's a fairly big city, but they are roughly the same age, depending on if she's 19 or 22. Excuse me. But thank you. That's a really good point. Yeah. And Reno's a weird town. It's a lot like Vegas, except that it's teeny tiny. But there's just a lot of illicit activity going on there. In my understanding, I've never hung out there. It's the kind of place that you wouldn't stop at if you didn't need to, unless you were a gambler, I think. I mean, living in San Francisco, that was sort of the general consensus. And that even if you were a gambler, you wouldn't stop there because you would go to Vegas. I mean, I'm just being serious. I'm just telling it like it is. Yeah, Reno is kind of like that. Anyway. So yeah, photoshopping Koberger. There's one photo in particular that I'm glad I stopped for a second to remember to mention, where it's in the second community post that I put up about it last night. So there's two photos, and one of them, his teeth look all jaggedy and really like I've got a little snaggle teeth kind of thing, like this gap right here, but he doesn't. And they make the gap look twice as wide as mine. It's almost like they're putting a black bean on one of his teeth and just trying to make him look crazy. Seriously, check it out. And like you don't notice it at first, you just think, ew, creepy. But his teeth look all jaggedy and kind of like fangs. And I'm pretty sure, I can go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure the man has perfect teeth. Like he probably had braces, absolutely perfectly straight, flat teeth. Like there's no gaps, there's no jagged edges, none of that. So again, why are they trying to portray him in with a false narrative? So the not witnesses, oh my goodness, the not witnesses. I guess you could say that about the Kylie Rodney case too, that everybody at the party were not witnesses because nobody saw nothing, right? Sammy's not a witness because she didn't see anything. And because Chief Fry said they're not witnesses, and then the news media ran with calling them survivors, the surviving victims, the rest of us kind of followed along with that. And I think that that was a mistake that we made. We need to call them surviving witnesses. I mean, we can negotiate, right? But they are witnesses. They were there. They saw things. They heard things. They smelled things. They freaking live in the house. They're alleging that they were home when it happened and they were there when the first responders arrived. And yeah, there were first responders that arrived lickety split. And then uh, Brett Payne, the lead, took 4 hours to show up. And he's got in his car with him Sergeant Blaker, who we all know. Sergeant Blaker was the same guy that Kaylee had given the report to a year prior, October of 2021, when she saw the woman. She thought she saw the woman in Walmart that had been missing. And then he's also the one in that body cam video from, I think, August, where he says, well, she's wearing the sausage dress, and then you've got the guy with the zip ties on his wrist, and that's Hunter Johnson, I think. And oh, great. Don't sting me, B. And then Blaker says, no access to the balcony. There's no stairs. And you're just like, why is he saying that? And then, lo and behold, a few months later, this horrible thing happens, and they're trying to figure out who gained access to the premises and did this. It really makes you scratch your head. So Sergeant Blaker and Corporal Brett Payne taking 4 hours to show up to an epic crisis of monumental proportions is 100% wrong. I don't care what they were doing. I don't care what their excuse is. If it was going to take them that long, somebody else should have been lead. It's quite simple. It's 1000% wrong. That's not how first responders operate. They're first responders. It's all about speed. Give me a freaking break. Alistair says it's going to be hard for the two girls to fool a jury. I think you meant jury. It says jury. That they slept through 4 red rums, in my opinion. Well, if it even gets to that point, I agree 100%. But, are we even going to get to a jury trial? I mean, it's been my feeling all along that they're trying to set it up so that Kohberger will capitulate and realize that he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, even if he is being framed, which I'm not sure that he is, but I kind of think it's both. I'll tell you what my theory is. I think that he was hired by Pullman PD. I think that those 3 departments, Pullman PD, Moscow PD, and Wazoo, that they all worked closely together. So they all knew him, and nobody liked him because he was a condescending MF. like you can see in the video where he ran the red light. And, that's him on his best behavior, trying to get somebody to do him a favor. So imagine what he's like when he's not in trouble and he's just, kind of running off leash. He's very condescending. He's very insulting. He's very snide. He's very subversive, covert. He's a dick. I'll just say it. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, seeing that video makes me think that he was hated by everyone around him, and that he was probably part of whatever it was that was going on. And then they turned on him and set him up and used him as the fall guy. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying that that's one theory of a possibility, that he made the perfect fall guy because he does have crazy eyes and he is a jerk and he does have weird, quirky personality stuff, and he drives a white Elantra, and whatever else. Not only did they want to use him as the fall guy, but then they just wanted to kick him while he was down and say that he made these asinine mistakes, that he's just got no mojo, none whatsoever, that he's basically never dated a girl, right? I mean, I don't think that that's entirely true. That whole thing about somebody that worked with him at Wazoo saying that he was bragging that he could go into any bar and get any girl that he wanted. In my opinion, that might be true. I mean, it might be a crock. It might just be a whole lot of bravado. But, you know, we don't have any women coming out of the woodwork saying, yeah, I was a one night stand with the crazy guy. We're not going to. I mean, come on. It's never going to happen. Um, so he won't his day in court with that type of personality. Yes. Yes. So, yeah. And when he said he hopes to be exonerated, it's like, you have to be convicted before you can be exonerated. He knows his vocabulary. He wanted, if he wants to be absolved of any guilt, that's very different than being exonerated. So it makes me think that he sees the bigger picture. He knows that if he's being set up, that he doesn't have a chance, but that he can win on appeals. I don't know. Good morning, my dear. Have a blessed weekend. Yes, all of you too. So let me get back on track. I know I'm kind of like going all over the place. I need to reel it in. The not witnesses, just like in the Kylie Rodney case, nothing to see over here, folks. Nothing happened. Um, yeah, absolutely crazy. And then protecting the very last people to see the victims alive. And we all know that the very last people to see a victim alive is a key person of interest. So just like in the Kylie Rodney case with Samantha and Mags and Kate all being protected, basically, then we've got that same thing repeating with Bethany and Dylan being protected. So Emma Bailey, what a mess. What an absolute mess. Again, I want to hit home because I know how we all are. We get inundated with information and things can go in one ear and out the other. So Emma Bailey was in front of the 1122 King Road residence on September 1st when the police walked up, and on the body cam, it looks like it's her. I'm not saying that it is. But what I am saying is that noise complaint was on September 1st, and then that other noise complaint was on September 2nd, the one where Xana's wearing the shorts and she says, I'm not 21, but my roommates are. So 2 noise complaints in 24 hours, you guys. The police department knew this house well. They probably knew this house well before these girls were living there because it was a well-known party house. But these girls, it sounds like maybe cranked it up a few notches. I don't know. And no judgment there. That's what people do in college. They party hard. So we are just at about half an hour, and I am going to wrap it up. I want to end with sending you guys over to the community posts that I've put up. And I'm going to put up another one, the one where the girl that's talking to law enforcement in front of the house on September 1st with the do-rag on. I'm going to put up a still shot that I took where you can kind of see the do-rag so that you can compare that to the do-rag that she has on in the drunk driving traffic stop in February of 2023. So, yeah, I'm going to leave off with the cabal. Anything you guys want to say about that before we hang up? And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Hey, Annie Potts. I'm sorry that I've missed all of your fantastic comments, and hard to even say hi because, like I said, with the light and the glare on the computer screen, it's hard to read them. It's nice to see you here, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to do my little thing one more time with my weird, creepy, dismembered hand. Hit that like button, hit your notification bell, share, subscribe if you feel like it. And let's just sign off. Oh, wait, the story just got here. And Nicole Clark. So I'm sorry that you missed it. Yeah, I didn't do an announcement because with all of this allergies that's been just bogging me down big time for, I think, about a week. I just don't know what to expect. So it went a little bit better today than it did yesterday. Although, honestly, I watched those 3 from yesterday that they sort of all could stand on their own, but they're all connected because the computer kept dying and stuff. My brain was dead the whole time. But anyway, I do what I can. I'm trying to get back onto the lives because I know there's a lot of people that are so loyal and really depend on my lives. And I appreciate that about you guys so much. So thank you for watching and have a great Friday. I will try to do as many videos and lives as I can to get caught up. I feel like I'm kind of behind, but at the same time, there's not really been a lot going on with this case. I have a feeling that there's going to be, though. I did want to mention, too, a JLR that I saw last night where Koberger's attorney is making a motion to postpone the May 22nd hearing about the gag order. So I'll put the link for that JLR video in my description here and go ahead and sign off. So you think Ellie hired a hitman and promised him they'd screw up crime scene, make sure he'd get away with it in exchange for allowing him to fulfill his fantasy while helping Ellie remove 4 people? That's not what I think, Wood Fairy. I think that that's a valid opinion right there. That's not my opinion. Where it differs is pretty much everywhere. um, I I don't know that he had any fantasies of anything. I mean, he was studying criminology, so yeah, he had weird um, queries online, surveys, and he maybe asked some weird questions to people that he knew, or people asked him weird questions because of the field he was studying. But I don't think that they hired a hitman, and I don't think they promised him that they'd script the crime scene. But I'm not saying that those ideas are wrong either. I don't know. I think that they hired him and then he was part of whatever they were doing. And then they are using him as the scapegoat and throwing him under the bus. But then if they can sabotage the trial so he doesn't get the death penalty, then it's all good. Who the freak knows, man? I mean, this stuff is insane. Truth is always stranger than fiction. And I definitely don't think that he just went in there and did this all by himself. But I do think that he may have some connection to it. And I really think that Kopacka has some connection to it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I think that. And then I'm going to wrap it. The biggest reason why I think Kopacka was connected is because neither of the Payne brothers have stepped forward and said, oh, gee whiz, isn't this sad? A brother, a comrade from the army that also was a paratrooper like us in Afghanistan is deceased and he was a protected person and this should have never happened. Something like that. Or even just acknowledging that it happened. Anything. The radio silence from Brett Payne, and then the whole thing with us being told that the lead detective was 26 years old when he was 33. We all know his brother, who looks like a twin, is only 2 years older. So instead of being 28, he's 35, and Kopacka was only 36. And Kyle Payne and Kopacka, they overlapped like right at the end of Kopacka's tour. There's like a month that they overlapped service. I don't know that they crossed paths, but it's my guess that these people all crossed paths in Moscow and Pullman. Just a guess, just an opinion. Anyway, peace out, you guys. Have a really good afternoon. I hope that you can take care of yourself, get your hydration, eat your protein, eat your veggies. I did want to let you know that the reason why my brain is cleared up is because I broke down and bought the Sudafed type of medicine from behind the counter at the pharmacy. I just couldn't take it anymore with the stuff that was on the shelf. And, you know, that hardcore stuff, it works. So I'm a lot better. That was like 24 hours ago. After all that calamity of errors with the laptop live attempts yesterday, I just went straight to the pharmacy and bought the crap and took some. And I think I'm doing a little bit better. You tell me. Anyway, have a great afternoon. I hope you can get your rest, your exercise, sunshine, fresh air. Be kind, be respectful, take really good care, and keep fighting the good fight. Peace out. Thanks so much for watching, and see you on the next one.